Sorry about that. Making sure that we are getting the information to, sorry, lots of stuff going on. It's like CNN over here. Just making sure that we have the support for our students that need the support. A lot of our students who are having a harder time with distance learning this year. And so because of that, the district is working on different things. The last board meeting was not a specific approval of a budget. It was just going over the different funding and the possibilities of how we're going to be spending that money looking forward, and kind of the school board looking at that and seeing how things were going to be going. All right. Committee reports, Sunshine and Hospitality. Anna.
Yes, today I just sent a card to Jamie Rambo for her to feel better because she wasn't feeling too well. And I also sent a card to Mark Kincaid for him to recover quickly. And those are the two that I sent this just today, actually.
Thank you very much, Anna.
That's it.
All right, our
You're
negotiations committee. What we're working on now is we're trying to get a larger committee going for negotiations. We want to have one person from each classification, which we have a ton of. We have a very large district. And so we do want to get this very large committee where we can meet together and discuss things that are for each classification, and then have a smaller negotiating team, because unfortunately with the number of classifications that we have, it's just impossible to have every single classification represented in negotiations. We did have a negotiations training, which was awesome. Many of our negotiating team was there, and I got to learn a lot of good things. And so we're excited to be moving forward. And it's one of those things we're going to be working on, trying to get this team together before our next school year starts. Our Constitution and Bylaws Committee. We have nothing for our Constitution and Bylaws Committee. Our Union Steward Committee, Tom. Sorry, Tom, you might be muted.
Yeah, I have no report for this month. Thank you.
All right, Site Representatives Committee, Jamie.
Sorry. I don't have anything right now. We're just, because like it's the end of the year, so people are moving around all over already. So I see that we need somebody new at London already, because the one that was there is gone. And there's a couple other ones, but I figured I'll wait till the end of the year to see where everybody ends up. There's only like a couple of weeks left. Okay.
Kimball also.
Yes, see, and Kimball too. With the retirement and people moving around, it's like, got to take a whole new.
All right, so if you know anyone that is working at Kimball or anyone that's working at London, we'll need site reps for those two sites, and that's just to disseminate information. It's nothing as crazy. You're not representing anyone. You're only making sure everyone has all the information out.
Right.
All right, so voting on our CSEA conference delegates. So we have less delegates going this year from the executive board, but we still need to vote on this just so that we cross our T's and dot our I's. And I will be sending that out later tonight. From our executive board, we only have 4 members going. Now, unfortunately, we had more members that were nominated, but in talking with CSEA and our field director, we're only able to send those that are fulfilling our Constitution and bylaws, which means they had to have attended 6 meetings. And those 2 that were nominated are Michelle Emersek and Anna Combs. And so we will also be adding them to our list. Now we can vote for a total of 9 members. And as you can see, there are only 6 there. So I'll put a little X next to it, but we just have to make sure, we're taking care of all of our union business. And that will be on our email. It will be voted on, and we'll send that to our communications.csea85@gmail.com. All right, our new business, our vote on MOU ratification. Okay, so we do have some responses. that were on our comment cards. No. Another response, MOU, I was forced to go back to work, exhausting all my sick and vacation leaves because my daughter's school is not back full time. She's a student at AUSD. I should not have to exhaust my leaves. These are unforeseen circumstances. Why are teachers getting an extra stipend for working on campus and classified as not? MOU, I don't agree with this. I would like for everyone to go over and create a better one, especially after we've had to come back on campus and having the learning centers open. Did we ever get hazard pay? We were required to be on campus, and the SDC teachers got a large stipend for having to be on campus. And that is it for responses for our MOU. So Eric, I can see that you are at home. I'm going to ask you to unmute, and I'm going to have you read our MOU for us, please.
Thanks. Okay, let's see if I can make this thing bigger. Okay. Shh, quiet. Memorandum of Understanding about Coronavirus Response. This memorandum is agreed between Antioch Unified School District, California School Employees Association, and its Chapter 85, together CSEA, concerning the district's, no, I can't. I gotta move it again. The district's response to the coronavirus COVID-19 epidemic. The district and CSEA recognize the importance of maintaining safe facilities and operations for the benefit of the students and communities served by the district and its teachers and staff. We recognize the importance of prudent measures to prevent district employees, students, their families, and other people using district facilities from being exposed to or infected with the coronavirus. Care should be taken to identify potential exposure and prevent the spread of the disease. All components of the current collective bargaining agreement, CBA, between CSEA and the district not addressed by the terms of this agreement shall remain in full effect. This agreement is non-precedent setting. To these ends, the district and CSEA agree to the following. 1, the district will train its employees in public health measures, hygiene, and sanitation to help prevent the spread of the virus, and will ensure that its facilities have been necessarily supplied for preventative sanitation measures such as soap and water, disposable towels or tissues, masks, gloves, and hand sanitizer, if available. CSEA will cooperate with the district in any necessary public health actions such as contact tracing or infected individuals. Employees are reminded of their duties to do assigned work absent reasonable fears for the health or safety. This is to grieve assignments rather than refuse them, absent evidence that the assigned task put their own health or another's health at risk. 2, unit members shall be released from duty without loss of pay or benefits if their vaccination appointments takes place during the workday. 3, the district shall adhere to the COVID-19 guidelines and orders issued by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, California Department of Public Health, CDPH, California Department of Education, CDE, the California Department of Industrial Relations Division of Occupational Safety and Health, CalOSHA. Whoa, what happened there? No. Now I lost what.
And Contra Costa Public Health.
Public Health, okay. Where there is a conflict between the various guidelines or orders, the district shall adhere to the guidelines set forth by the Contra Costa County Health Department unless another governmental order supersedes the authority of the Contra Costa County Health Department. 4, the district shall establish a plan for limiting visitors on campus, including classrooms. All visitors on campus shall respond to a set of self-screening questions that determine if that visitor shall remain on campus. 5, each bargaining unit member shall perform a daily self-check before coming to work. Take temperature. Bargaining unit members shall not come to work if exhibiting symptoms known to be associated with COVID-19. 6, upon notification that an employee or student has been infected with COVID-19, the district shall initiate contact tracing in conjunction with local health department officials. The district shall inform all bargaining members who were on the premises at the same work site as the individuals during the infectious period of their potential exposure in writing within 1 workday. A copy of such notice shall be provided to the association at the same time it is provided to the affected and bargaining unit members. Unit members shall be individually notified about COVID-19 related benefits available to unit members and the district's disinfection plan that will be implemented. 7, the district shall develop a clear plan for what happens and what will be shut down when positive carriers happen or cases happen on site. 8, cleaning and disinfecting. All cleaning and disinfection procedures should follow public health guidelines with staff trained with new protocols, products, and safe handling. 9, an appropriate inventory of sanitizing equipment and products shall be available to all bargaining unit members. 10, the district shall provide through cleaning and disinfecting of all campus spaces where students and staff are present, with special attention to high touch surfaces such as doorknobs, railings, light switches, classroom sinks, handles, copy machines, and countertops. The thorough cleaning shall be required according to the county health and Cal OSHA guidelines. Number 11, all staff, students, and visitors shall practice regular hand washing 20 seconds or use hand sanitizer when entering the building and regularly throughout the day, including every time a classroom is entered. Portable hand sanitizing stations will be provided in each classroom where there is no sink. All hand washing, hand sanitizing supplies shall be provided by the district and restocked as needed. 12, all staff shall be provided with the supply of personal protective equipment, including latex-free gloves, disinfectant wipes, masks, face shields, and sanitizer as requested. 13, all students and staff will be
We lose you, Eric. 13,
Huh?
you there?
I'm here.
Okay, we lost you for a second.
Where'd you lose me?
Number 13.
Okay, number 13. All students and staff will be mandated to wear masks at all times, subject to any medical or disability related expense or exemptions. All staff with medical exemptions will contact Human Resources to proceed with an ADA interaction process. 14, the district will conduct temperature checks of all students and staff during their arrival time. Students and staff will participate in health monitoring surveys as a prevention measure on all campuses. 15, ingress and egress points. Since students, parents, and staff tend to congregate in large groups at access points before and after school. A, school sites shall identify sufficient access points to be used for students and parents ingress and egress before and after school. B, where possible, students, staff, and parents will be assigned an ingress and egress point for use when coming to school. 16, the district shall ensure all HVAC systems operate in the mode which delivers the most fresh air changes per hour while maintaining space temperatures within district standard temperatures of 68 to 74 degrees. And the demand controlled ventilation is operating properly. Opening outdoor air dampeners as indoor and outdoor conditions safely permit. Where such controls exist, air filters shall be applicable health and safety requirements. 17, in large person gatherings. Whoa, what the heck happened here? Okay, in large person gatherings shall be suspended until the guidelines from the CDEH or the state to resume such activities leaves. A, the language in Article 13 leaves of the collective bargaining agreement applies unless otherwise specified below. B, during the COVID-19 outbreak, all leave provisions in the collective bargaining agreement shall remain in effect. C, additionally, supplemental paid sick leave, the SB 95 shall be available to eligible bargaining unit members. District will comply with SB 95 COVID-19 supplemental paid sick leave, SPSL/SB 95, as it relates to paid leave entitlements. Eligible unit members and qualifying reasons for leave related to COVID-19. This bill provides a full-time employee with the right to 80 hours paid leave and part-time employees with the prorated portion of the 80 hours if unable to work due to a qualifying reason outlined in the bill. 19, the district shall comply with the requirements of the California Executive Department Executive Order N-26-20. CSEA will support efforts to maintain funding pursuant to Education Code event of a closure of any district facilities due to an epidemic. 20, any alleged violations, misinterpretations, or misapplications of the terms of this agreement shall be subject to the grievance and arbitration provisions in the CBA. 21, probationary period will only be extended for those in unpaid status. 22, nothing in this MOU sets precedents for future working conditions or bargaining. 23, this MOU will expire in full on June 30th, 2021, or when extended or rescinded by mutual written agreement.
All right, thank you so much, Eric. I know that was quite a bit to read there. So I will be sending out an email again tonight. It will have our CSEA conference delegates on there, and we will have the MOU ratification. We'll have 5 days from the time of the email, not from right now, but from the time that the email is sent to you to vote on our ratifying the MOU and to vote for our conference delegates. All right. Number 7, unfinished business. A report out on ratification of our tentative agreement. It was almost unanimous from our members voting yes on our tentative agreement for 3% raise and for our increase in the district contribution to our medical. And then the school board has also approved it on this paycheck. On this paycheck, we will be seeing our 3% increase, and we will be seeing the increase in the medical cap from the district. And in the our next paycheck next month, we should be seeing our retro check, which will go back to July of 2020 for our 3% and go back to January of this year for our medical coverage. All right, for our good of the order, we have, could you please address the unfairness with the teachers who return to school getting a stipend and the aides not getting any compensation to return to school in learning centers? Most of us aides have children at home and distance learning as well. Thank you. I believe that our union should be fighting to get hazard pay for the classified employees as the teachers union did for them. We are just as important. And are we classified employees, specifically IAA special needs or IAA special education, getting a stipend like the SDC teachers that are having to return to campus for learning centers? If not, a hazard pay bonus should be discussed because we are officially working under the pandemic and risking our lives every time we step out of our homes. Despite the state low cases of COVID-19 and the effort to vaccinate, there's no guarantee we're completely safe. All right, thank you for those comments. I would like to say it's been a great classified employees recognition week. Really love to see everybody's faces when we got to go out and enjoyed seeing all of you do we have a motion to adjourn?
No, I don't feel like anybody's questions have been answered. I'm really confused about what's happening here. Can you please explain?
Well, I'm confused as to what, so the questions that were on the
On the
comment.
chat, yeah, you didn't answer any of the questions on the chat, and you also didn't explain about how the MOU came up or how we're really going to vote on it and who that's going to be sent to.
Okay, so I will explain, and then if we cannot be out of order, we have to use our speaker cards. That's how we set it up. So for our teachers, our SDC teachers that are teaching from the classroom, 28 of them, they're teaching 2 separate curriculums, which is why they received the bonus. They're teaching from distance and they are teaching from their classroom. So it's not a hazard pay for them to be at work. It is specifically because they are teaching 2 curriculums. The other with the MOU, our MOU it was ratified by CSEA, and it's been 610 by our state CSEA, and our members are going to vote on them. And if our members approve, then we'll go through with the MOU as written, and if they do not, then we will go to negotiations.
Can you please clarify how they're going to vote?
Yeah, our members will send a yes or no response to communications.csea85@gmail.com. And as I said earlier, I will be sending out an email to all of our members. And our voting will not commence. We will have 5 days from the time that I send out our email. And our members will vote yes or no to ratify our MOU. All right.
Josh, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Weren't these the same questions that were brought up at the last meeting that we addressed?
Correct.
I feel like the questions were exactly the same as last month.
Correct. And now we're going to be voting on our MOU, so our ratification for it.
I have a question that wasn't at the last meeting, and I'd like to know who was part of the negotiation team that negotiated this MOU, and if any of the members that have been mostly affected by the return to work, if they got contacted and they were talked to about what their concerns were before you went in to negotiate this.
I'm sorry, but it's out of order. We have our speaker cards, and I will be continuing with this, but right now we're out of order.
But the fact of the matter is that a lot of us were never trained on what in order is or how to conduct a meeting like this. So I don't feel like we're technically out of order since we never actually learned conduct for a meeting, Josh. And I would appreciate it if you answered Michelle's question.
Our negotiating team, it was with Michael, our labor rep, with the district. And was
any related service providers representative of that, including speech therapists or occupational therapists?
Unfortunately for this one, no. And that is something that I absolutely would change in the future and will change. And that's why I'm working with our group to get that giant.
How about any of the instructional aides?
Negotiations team together. This is why we're working to increase our negotiations team, to increase the size so that their voices are heard in this as we move forward.
So if we vote no on this MOU, you will go back into negotiations with the concerns addressed by related services, as well as instructional assistants and other classifications that have been affected by this.
If this MOU is voted down, then yes, we would go back into negotiations. There is no guarantee that any of the concerns would be added to our MOU. There is no guarantee that the MOU would change. There is no guarantee of anything going back into negotiations. But yes, we would go back in negotiations and we would reopen things.
I'm not, excuse me, I'm not trying to be out of order. I have a question. My question is, if it is voted down, what do we do next? What is our next standpoint?
If it is voted down, then
If they don't approve, like if we vote it down and they don't approve it, what do we do from there?
if our members do not approve our MOU, then we return with our negotiating team, and we return with the district's negotiating team, and we return to everything with the MOU, and we negotiate and we bring forth the things that are concerns for us, and the district will either approve or not, or it can end up at impasse. We can have a mediator. There are many different things that can happen. But if it is voted down, then yes, we would return to negotiations, and we would have our negotiating team work with the district. But as I said, there's no guarantees that anything would change at this point. All right, as we are unfortunately very out of order, do I have a motion for adjournment?
I move that we adjourn.
Do we have a second?
In this, hey Josh, in the future, how do we stay in order? Is it like a raise our hand thing?
No, unfortunately, it's a speaker card that was sent out before. But anything that is, any questions, you can always email me, and we're working on our communications. We're working on all of these things on moving forward. This is it's a big process.
A speaker card is like an actual card, a physical card that we will.
No, it's a link. And Miss Amy Gonzalez sent it out again today.
It was this morning. It was very abrupt and brief, and I would like to request that the board considers having an occupational therapist or a healthcare provider to help with literacy levels to understand this, because I have my doctorate and I had absolutely no idea what that card was this morning, because we never received training about union procedures and protocols, and we don't want to be rude, but I would really appreciate it if we knew what that card was. When that card was sent out this morning, Josh, I thought it was our voting card. So if you could please think about more creative.
I thought it was the voting card.
Yeah, and more, I mean, and Lorenzo he has his master's degree. Like, if you could think about ways that we could incorporate multimodal learning for different learning perspectives, we would very much appreciate that, because we're all working within the educational system. And it's interesting and ironic that we feel like we have no idea what's going on. Thank you for that consideration.
Thank you. All right, I have a motion from Jamie. Do I have a second?
Okay, I second.
All right, a second from Brian.
Okay. That again?
Thank you so much. This meeting is
No.
adjourned.